Well, hello there, my friends, and welcome to the glorious Republic of Deseret. I wanted to give you guys a sort of update on exactly what our new party is about. A lot of you guys have realized that our monarchists are now out of power, and our Democratic Party, our democracy, has begun. And in this case, it's a very different democracy. It's really more of a constitutional monarchy. So the elders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are really in control. But as you can see here, the Deseret Republican Party is a monarchist movement, placing great emphasis on tradition, limited democracy, and the rule of law. Now the Constitutionalists are seen as the Anglosphere's response to the extremes of the French Revolution and its Shaysite, Chartist, and Fenian offspring. Its most celebrated historical figures include English Prime Minister Edmund Burke and Alexander I of America, founder of the Hamiltonian dynasty. So in fact, we have a pretty good respect for the President of America here. Unfortunately, they don't like us one bit, so there's no chance there. But definitely, our new party is not completely against monarchy. They're basically just a little closer to democracy, but we still are technically a constitutional monarchy. So people do get a vote. They get to vote for the Prime Minister in this case, but obviously the monarch is still in control. And we don't know who that monarch is. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a very secretive church, so we can only imagine. So over here, guys, I think I want to start building some planes, definitely. We've got a bomber. We're trying to get those factories, and right now, all we can do is wait. And it looks like Japan is already demanding Chinese concessions. Stumbling over my words here. And we're going to go ahead and get those guys in. I also want to take this division. We've got plenty more we want to do. And actually, somebody mentioned that we shouldn't be training because we're not going to gain any more skill in this army right here. The reason we're training is actually not because of that. The reason we're training is because we want to go ahead and unlock army experience, and the only way to do that is to train. Once we unlock more army experience, we can unlock more and more, obviously, things in the game to improve our units. Now, look at that, guys. The Empire of Japan has declared war on China. That is scary for sure. I want to start building some more air bases, maybe even some land forts. Would that be a good idea? I think it would. Kind of put some land forts over here on the borders of Louisiana and, of course, Mexico. I'm just saying, it may not be the greatest idea in the world, but I think it'll work. I'm also going to try to get some military factories out here. So let's try to drop one in Utah, one in Squamish, excuse me, and keep on going. Wonderful. We have our advanced weaponry. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look here. I like that we're focusing a lot on weapons, but I do think we need to focus some on resource efficiency, even though we're fine on resources, but eventually with all this stuff we're building, we're going to need more and more resources. So I am considering that, but expanding military industry would add a military factory, and that's definitely something we want to do. We want to build that army up as soon as possible. Let's take a look over here at the war between the Empire of Japan and the Empire of China. So if you look at the Japanese, they're led by the Sadao Araki, leader of the Empire of Japan, and they're facing the Constitutionalists led by Hu Hanmin. And this is funny. We could actually join the Chinese in this war. Interesting. So look at this, guys. The Russians are at war with the Empire of China. The Russians and the Japanese are fighting against them. Interesting. Wow. Wow. We really could do some interesting stuff here. I want to see if they have anyone else in their faction. So interesting. It's actually China that launched this assault. And I don't know, guys, this would be a major change in our entire gameplay, but we could obviously take back all that from the Russian bloc. I just don't think the Chinese can win this war. They're fighting against so many different enemies here. Spain, Turkey, Finland, and even, I don't even know who this is. The Khanate of Tanotuva. This is major. Then again, it looks like the Russians are also at war over here with possibly other countries. Let's take a look here. So you know what? Wow, guys, we might join the Chinese bloc. This would be insane. I'm going to first, before I even consider doing this, I'm going to go ahead and grab my army, one of my armies here, and just basically set them up right there, because it's such a short border. We might go ahead and attack, guys. go ahead and move up. It's going to take us so long, you have to keep in mind, to actually manage to get a good relationship with these other democratic nations. Then again, I'm thinking probably waiting for that is much better. It's a slow process to improve relations, but it is kind of the only process to improve relations. It's the Latin Royalists, sorry. See, we're trying to create a new faction. So I think the Colombians are our best hope. We're going to go ahead and keep improving relations, but we may definitely consider, we'll keep watching how this war goes. We may consider going to war, guys, with the Russians. I mean, we could take back that land, but it definitely looks like the Japanese are pushing through here, and pushing through pretty well. Yeah, I think we made the right decision in not joining this war. I think the Chinese overextended themselves just a little bit, although that is a huge empire, I will say that. Kingdom of Romania has joined the continental system. You damn French, you won't accept us. Continental my ass. So we're going to have to create our own faction, I think. Alright, let's keep sending out those diplomatic guys. Remember, we've got one of our actual politicians. His entire goal is to improve relations, which is really awesome. Improving relations. Now, obviously, attacking the Algonquin Republic is one of our other goals. So the centrists won the re-election. Interesting, guys. We had our election. The Democratic Party had an outright majority of seats in the legislature in today's general election. The government has clear mandate to take whatever actions it deems necessary in these troubled times. Wonderful. So we're definitely going to do that. We also gained a lot of political power through that, which is awesome. And it looks like we've got Lorenzo Woodruff for a second term. The people seem to like this guy. He seems to be okay. Seems to be an all right gentleman. And we're going to go ahead and take a look here. Wow, we can change quite a lot. We can get a new theorist. Let me see quickly here. The division attack would be pretty good. The national unity is also a great thing. The monarchist drift. Maybe we should start drifting back towards monarchy. In fact, I think we might just do that. Then again, the radical drift is interesting too. I think I'm going to go ahead and go for the Regency movement. Remember, last time we were led by the missionary movement. We were not led by the Regency movement. So maybe becoming a monarchist is actually our goal. A monarchy is our goal to freedom in a weird way. Because once we become a monarchy, that's going to open up a lot of other possible factions we can join, essentially, and I think that's going to make our jobs a lot easier. So I'm not going to make any moves yet. This is probably the most careful game of Hearts of Iron 4 I've ever played, in the sense that I want to make sure that this country survives as long as possible. And we keep trying to question Algonquin sovereignty, but we can't. There we go! We finally got justification for the war! Okay, this is interesting. And it looks like the Algonquins, if I'm not mistaken, yes, they're attacking the Russians here. I'm going to stop the training. Hold on a second. Let me select all. I'm going to go ahead, first of all, put them on the front lines here. We do have justification to attack now, guys. The question is, should we? That is really the question. Obviously, if we go to war with the Algonquin Republic, we have the possibility of taking a huge chunk of territory, but it's going to be a war, a serious, serious war. At the same time, this could be our opportunity to get the Colombians to join us and to start our own faction here. And we can unlock Divine right now. Oh, that's awesome. We're going to gain some base national unity here because of that. Let's just make sure. Let's see what sort of allies they have. Interesting. All right, my friends. You know what? I don't think I need anyone's advice on this one. I think I'm pretty sure that I want to go ahead and declare war on the enemy here. Probably want to improve our military and add some stuff before we do. And again, we're fighting with an army that's not exactly 100% well trained. So we want to keep that in mind. We're keeping one border open to do this, but this is really going to improve the amount of men we have on this front. And the good thing is the Algonquin capital is very, very close here. Extremely close. Saskatoon is right there. So if we could just break through the Algonquin lines and make it in there, I think we could have an amazing victory. want to make sure none of these armies are training. Stop that exercise. And we can also drop a few free civilian factories. Why not? So I'm going to drop some civilian factories in Chinook and in Utah, of course. And I'm going to let you guys decide whether or not I declare war here, because this is a huge, huge decision, obviously. And attacking attacking the Alqonquins would be a major, major move. So I think right now I'm going to stop here. We've got 20 days to decide before the war goal disappears. So I'm going to let you guys make this decision. Do we go to war with the Alqonquins, our ex-allies, or do we remain fairly neutral and try to continue our goal of neutrality? Maybe we can continue that goal anyway once we take all that territory. I don't know, guys. I'm going to let you decide. Make sure to put it in the comments below, because the majority wins here, and the majority will decide what we do next. I'm going to try to wait another day or two for the next episode, unless we get a lot of suggestions down below. And thank you again, guys, and make sure to put your suggestions. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.